Alrighty, how are y'all doing today? This is going to be a trade review for May 13th, 2024, Monday. I took a little loss yesterday. I'm filming this review one day after the fact, but with that being said, let's get straight into it. May 13th was a no news Monday, and on top of that, there was also PPI and Federal Chairman Powell speaking right after that. And then CPI was literally the day after. So CPI right now is tomorrow. I'm probably not going to be trading. I didn't trade today either, but yesterday I did take a small loss. I de-risked just because it was a no news Monday, and with all the crazy stuff after that. But yeah, like I said, took a little loss. Found a pretty good setup though. So right now I'm on the 4-hour chart real quick just to go top to bottom right here. On the 4-hour chart, as we can see, prices came all the way up here. There's a high, an old high right here from about a month ago exactly, and I had this marked out right here. 4-hour fair value gap right above it. But this high marked out, it aligned right with this high that had formed about a day ago on NASDAQ, so it had kind of equal highs there. Obviously, it was higher time frame, so I didn't really give too much intraday weight into that, but zooming in a little bit, obviously price has been pretty choppy. We just expended a lot. Now we're starting to chop a little bit and accumulate. At the beginning of the day, there is a 4-hour fair value gap right in here on both of them. Actually, I have these marked out. 4-hour fair value gap, same thing on the S&P. But those are right there. If you go on like the 2-hour, it's the same thing. It's just a weird imbalance right here. But that is nice to know. And also the S&P, it also had a previous high right here, but basically going to the morning session, price came up right here, and this was the 8:30 open, so 9:30 Eastern time, and it actually came down. It went up, and it formed perfect equal highs on the S&P 500. Now on the Nasdaq, it came up, formed kind of relative equals, and plus there's the high time frame high from back here. I'll delete this fair value gap just to make it easier to see, but yeah, this is from all the way back here. So I was leaning more bullish on the day just because it was in kind of a bullish trend right here and perfect equal highs. But on the 8:30 open, basically market open right here, and it just shot down pretty much all the way, 80 points on Nasdaq, and I was thinking it was going to be a kind of manipulation move. You see a lot of those, but it did go right into a 4-hour fair value gap. It swept all this stuff with all these. I mean, these don't really mean too much, but all these little lows right here. S&P did the exact same thing, swept down. And this also happens to be equilibrium of the entire leg. So if we want to check this from this low to this high, equilibrium came down, swept into there. S&P, same thing, equilibrium from perfect highs, my fault. Came down, swept right here. And my entry was, I'm going to go in the 1 minute real quick here. I'm going to mark out this little low right here, but yeah, so it came up, these are the highs. And then 8:30 came down, and I just had my entry at the beginning of this FEG kind of, and right next to this last little low right here, but my entry was just right here. It was really de-risked, and this was a really high risk to reward as well, so I was just taking a little swing at it. Honestly, I didn't have crazy expectations for today just because of the circumstances, but this is a loss I'm fine taking. It's a pretty good setup. I mean, perfect equal highs, like that's obviously a crazy draw, and I can show you all the price action. And actually, those got swept today for PPI. Yeah, price just started kind of chopping around after I got in here. As you can see, the Nasdaq came down, went up to at least like 2/3 of the way up. The S&P came down, didn't even hit halfway, and it pretty much just slept for the rest of the day. So this was a pretty decent entry, but conditions weren't too good, and I'm going to exit bar replay here to show you all today's price action, what went on. Again, I did not trade today, but I'm just going to delete all the drawings and stuff like that, clear out the chart. I'll go on the 1 hour real quick. Yeah, so yesterday after I was already out of the trade and stuff, wait, no, that's May 10th. But still, it came down, formed equal highs right here on the S&P today, this morning. Came down, swept all this stuff. If we go on the daily chart, look at this. On the S&P, I didn't trade today, but 1 day fair value gap. right here, and news price action came down, swept both of these, wicked into this perfectly, and boom, came up and swept this. There's another high here, boom, boom, boom. Just pretty much took everything. So I'm not gonna trade tomorrow. It's CPI. Oh, I'm probably not gonna trade tomorrow. I doubt there's gonna be much volatility. But there's these 4 CPI right here, and there's actually 2 more. There's like retail sales or whatever. So yeah, this it's just gonna shoot up a little bit and then probably just be flat the entire day. So I'm not trading. But yeah, that was a little trade review. Again, took a little loss, but I'm perfectly fine with it because it was a decent setup. But yeah, Thursday and Friday should be decent trading days. So if I do trade on those days, I'll let y'all know. Alright, I will see y'all. Peace.